Set the course on the mark, overstand till we attain it. Navigate your workplace to bless, not just for payments. Complaints cannot penetrate into my heart to stain it. Keep a clear conscience as we work to make him famous. If I can bring glory to his name, I'm smiling widely. Letting go of crude jokes, I appreciate him highly. Never cut the corners, you might run into a wall there. Boys run out to play at work like running to the town fair. Men see it differently. They know that every shift they clock in, they locked in, serving Yeshua with joy, not rocking with the foolishness. Faithful in our workplace, whether pools, food, or furnaces. Bless the Most High, I work for him who sees my earnestness. Boys, run to recess. Men, run to work.
Boys run to recess, men run to work. Recess is what we called it when we didn't have to work in school when I was a kid, or when we took a break. Like as a kid, I remember dreading work. Like my dad was a contractor and he really wanted to instill like a strong work ethic in me. He used to wake me up early on Saturday morning to do chores, and on my Christmas break or summer break, I would always go work with his company. And man, it was like always such a drag because I was like, I want to play, I want to be on the playground, and I couldn't get off work fast enough. And my dad just really wanted to just beat that laziness out of me because he knew being a man meant embracing hard work. And I want to give you 3 reasons why maybe as a boy you ran away from work, but as a man you run to work. Number 1, Jesus worked, right? Mark chapter 6, Jesus is referred to as the carpenter. They go, isn't this the carpenter? Now, I heard it taught one time, or I studied this one time. I don't know if it's true, but the fact that before they said, isn't this Jesus's Joseph's son or Mary's son, or isn't this his brothers and sisters? The very first way they described him, identified him, was his job. They go, isn't this the carpenter? And being called the carpenter meant, it doesn't say a carpenter, it means the carpenter, meaning like, isn't this the guy who works on our house? Now, the word carpenter in the original language in Mark is the word tekton, which means a builder. It could have been a mason or like more of an architect. It could have been a carpenter with wood, but really Jesus had a reputation for building things. And when you're known as the carpenter or the builder, not a carpenter, some scholars would say he's known to as like the go-to guy. His work preceded him. Isn't this the guy who works on all our houses? Like, he's our first phone call when we're building something. There's reason enough to believe that Jesus did a good job at work, and that's why he was known as the carpenter. I mean, as simple as this is like going to work is part of being a man. If for no other reason, like Jesus did that for years and years and years before he went into ministry. We see this example in Genesis as well. Like before Adam was entrusted with a woman, God entrusted him with a job, right? He took care of the garden and he named all the animals. It wasn't until he got done naming all the animals that God said, okay, you've done a good job with this. Now I'm going to entrust you with a wife. I mean, that's part of it. Like we're faithful with a little before he entrusts us with more. And sometimes we have to be faithful with a job before God will promote us to something else. I mean, I was talking to this young adult like not too long ago, and he liked this girl, and he lives at home with his mom and he doesn't have a job. He's really good at Call of Duty. But he was trying to talk about like dating this girl. And it's one of those moments where you put like a hand on a young man's shoulder and you say, you can't handle her, bro. Like you got to get some other things lined up first. Like, why don't you become a man before you start dating a woman? You're still a boy, and I love you, but like, let's see you get a job. Let's see you get a car. Let's see you move out. And then let's talk about something like being entrusted with one of God's daughters. Work is an important part of becoming a man and becoming trustworthy before God. Running to work is about running to the opportunities that God would put in front of us to be tested and to be trusted, right? You are becoming the kind of man God can trust. First, he probably wants to test you with a job. This is what he did with Jesus. This is what he did with Adam. And I'm sure this is what he's going to do with you. The second thing is running to work is awesome because it puts you in a position financially to take care of other people. It says in 1 Timothy 5:8 that if a man who doesn't provide for the needs of his own family, doesn't take care of his own house, he's left the faith, he's worse than an unbeliever. It says that. I mean, and that passage is about how you're selecting leaders in a church. You're not supposed to select leaders in a church who haven't had a job, who don't know how to take care of other people. And you are a leader. You're made in the image of God. You're going to lead your family. You're going to lead your home. You're going to lead whatever sphere of influence God puts you in. And being able to work, make money, take care of other people, that's a really spiritual thing. And so I know part of us, our boyhood side of us, is like, I don't want to go to work. I want to go to the playground. But we have to understand that not only are we like Jesus when we go to work, but we grow in the ability to make money and help and serve other people. As you grow in responsibility, God can trust you with more. But man, can you just see it from a different perspective? God gave you that job. I bet, you were praying for that job before you got it. And you're like, God, if you just give me a good job. And just think back to where you were at when you didn't have a job and how bad you wanted one. And now you got one. And just stay in that place of gratitude. Stay in that posture of like thanking God for what he's given you. Because this has provided the way for you to take care of people that you love. Even if your job sucks, right? Your kids are going to grow up seeing Dad went to work every day and took care of our family. I love Proverbs chapter 6, where the King Solomon, he says, look at the ant. The ant works so hard. Admire the ant. He stores up in the winter for another season when he'll be left without. And he has no commander, no ruler over him. He just does that because he knows that this is his job. And then he says, you sluggard, learn from his lesson, because you're over here folding your hands, resting, being lazy, and poverty is going to sneak up on you like a thief. Yeah, I mean, it's a timeless principle for men that if we don't work because we're lazy, there's something wrong. If our wife is going to work to take care of us because we're lazy, there's something wrong. You want your kids, admiring that you worked hard. My dad wanted to train me to work hard because he knew I don't know what life's going to be like for you, Justice, but you're going to have to be ready as a man. And oh man, he beat it out of me because as a boy, I wanted to run and play all the time. But now I'm just so grateful for the job that I have and the different ways that I can take care of my family. It's such a blessing. I see it as a gift. It's interesting. I was actually out to dinner with my wife a couple nights ago on date night. And she asked me about like working hard as a man. And I basically was like, I get to, like my attitude when I was a boy was I have to. My attitude as a man is like, I get to, and man, whether it's being like Jesus, number one, or just, being prepared for what God would trust you with later. Colossians 3:23 says, work heartily for the Lord. Work heartily for the Lord, as if you're serving him, not men. And then, there's an inheritance coming. God's got good things for those who work hard. And not only are you like Jesus, not only is it part of your preparation for responsibility, but also it's a way to worship him. The way you get up and go to work every day is one of the ways that you worship him. Work heartily. Boys run to the playground. They run to recess. Men run to work. My prayer for you is that you would see the gift of hard work in front of you as something that God has given to train you up for the great thing he has for you next. A way to become like Jesus and a way to worship him.